over leveraging. Over leveraging, trying to really blow your account up really fast. It's not going to happen. You might get a couple plays where you make some really good money, but overall, when you think about consistency, it's just not going to work for you.
What's up, traders? Welcome back to the CTI YouTube channel. Today, we're going to meet Curtis, who has recently passed the CTI evaluation. So Curtis is from the American Air Force, and he has smashed the evaluation. And we're going to learn a little bit about his story and his strategy and what strategy he actually used to pass the evaluation. So make sure you stick around to the end and smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave an awesome, kind comment for Curtis, congratulating him and wishing him good luck on his journey as a CTI portfolio manager. So let's get straight into it. Hey, Curtis, how you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm very good, thank you. And thanks for joining us here in this interview and sharing a little bit about your journey. And, you know, you passed the evaluation, so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's I know it's a challenging thing to do. So yeah, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and how you got into trading.
Yeah, so I'm from Vegas, and so I originally got into trading during the pandemic. That's when I really started getting to trading. I traded options for a little while. I had some success. You know, I blew many accounts. I've also made some really big gains in the options market. And then about a year ago, I switched to Forex. I kept seeing these ads, these videos on YouTube, Instagram, people who were just killing the markets. And so I thought I'd give it a try. I checked it out, and I really liked the technical analysis side of Forex. And so that's when I made the switch.
Nice. So, okay, so it hasn't been for that long. And what's been your experience so far? Is it something that's been very difficult for you, or do you find trading quite easy?
So in the beginning, it kind of felt like another language, right? You didn't really know what you were doing. You had to learn everything. I watched countless hours of YouTube, and that's kind of what got me started on the right path. There's a lot of good people and mentors on YouTube who put this stuff out there for free. So I definitely recommend doing that. And then I picked it up pretty easy just by practicing, you know, back testing, watching tons of YouTube, and just being really dedicated.
Yeah, I hope that was one of YouTube channels.
Yeah, I came across your guys' YouTube channel. I watched a few videos. You guys have some great people on there as well.
Nice. So okay, now it's just it's amazing how there is so much information on YouTube for free, and we're so blessed to have, like you said, a lot of content creators, a lot of traders out there putting out that great content, and that's exactly what we try to do. We try to educate as much as possible, because you know the information is out there. It's just a matter of going out there and finding it and applying those lessons, applying those golden nuggets and those strategies. But again, it's not easy. It's not for everyone. What kind of challenges have you faced in your journey as a trader?
The many challenges, and I think a lot of us have these challenges when we first get into trading, is over leveraging. Over leveraging, trying to really blow your account up really fast. It's not going to happen. You might get a couple plays where you make some really good money, but overall, when you think about consistency, it's just not going to work for you. So that's one of the things. So, you know, don't over leverage your account, you know, use the appropriate risk management, and then just constantly wanting to be on the charts. I've mentioned that before. But always wanting to be on the charts, it kind of kills you, because now you're over analyzing things, you're thinking too much. It really plays with your psychology, and you really just want to kind of limit the time that you're on the charts, not necessarily be on it all the time, but definitely take the time to figure out what time works best for you on the charts, and just kind of go with that.
Yeah, so you touched on something really important. It's really common in traders that are just over trading, perhaps maybe spending too much time in front of the charts, perhaps maybe entering trades when they're not meant to, and forcing it a little bit. But you know, this is very common in traders who outside of trading are hard workers. When you work hard, when you have a job and you're really passionate about what you do, and you're very disciplined and you're very professional, you tend to turn up every single day. You tend to motivate yourself to do this, and so you're in this sort of practice of hard work and getting things done. Whereas in trading, there is an element of hard work involved, but what we tend to confuse hard work with is also putting it in the box, putting trading, actually executing trades into that box of working hard, right? And when we do that, we tend to, overtrade. We tend to force trades that are not there. And in fact, trading is completely different to your traditional sort of work. Especially you work in the Air Force, so I'm sure you have to work really, really hard every single day, right? But in trading, it's not the same. You don't have to execute trades every single day. So it's learning when to step away. It's learning when not to be involved in the markets. That in itself can give you a massive edge. And so it's just a matter of identifying the best conditions in the market for you to enter a trade, where all the confluences in your strategy have been met. And also for yourself, when you are in the best condition mentally and physically to execute those trades, because you can have the best strategy in the world, some really accurate, profitable strategy, but if you're not there mentally, if you're compromised emotionally, you're not going to follow your rules. Like you said, you're going to overtrade, you're going to over leverage. So it's just a matter of knowing when to step away and having that process in place. That is I think will be a great way to overcome this issue of overtrading and over leveraging. So what type of trader are you? What kind of strategy do you follow? Curious to know what kind of strategy you used to pass the evaluation.
Yeah, so I'm not one to be more like a swing trader. I kind of like to get in and out of the market. Typically, what I like to do is I like to go for your 1 to 3 risk rewards. It just depends on how long it takes to get that 1 to 3. Usually, it could be an hour, it can be a few minutes. It just depends. And so the strategy that I've picked up, you always want to wait for your confluences. You want to trade the ranges. You want to trade what they call as order blocks. You can look all of this stuff up on YouTube. You want to find imbalances within the market and see those areas rebalance, retest those areas, and maybe have a nice reaction off of it. And so those are the type of things you want to look for. I highly, highly recommend the ICT YouTube mentorship 2022. I would definitely check that out. He has a lot of stuff on there. If the stuff makes sense, it works. I put it to the test. So shout out to him. And that's kind of the strategy that I use. I base a lot of my stuff off of ICT.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, a lot of traders are using smart money concepts type of trading. A lot of that stuff did come from ICT. Yeah, so big shout out to ICT for sharing all of that knowledge. And with that type of trading as well, it can be quite discretional, but at the same time, it can be so powerful. And so if you can have consistency in the way you execute these strategies, especially if you're trading fair value gaps and optimal trade entries at your specific kill zone times, if you can rinse and repeat this, you can do really well. And you can catch, like you said, your bread and butter is your 3R. And let's go ahead and have a look at your statement. Our team has sent it over now. So you started this you started trading on the 10th of May. I can see you focus a lot on cable, fiber, and there's a few euro, pounds, Aussie yen. So you trade quite a few pairs. Is there any particular reason why you trade these pairs, or you trade pretty much everything or anything?
So normally I would try to restrict myself to no more than 3 or 4 pairs. But going into the challenge, I wasn't seeing the setups that I would normally want into the challenge. And so I would look at other pairs. And so that was kind of the idea there, as why is there many pairs in the challenge that I traded. But my go-to pairs would normally be like EU, GU, EG, and then GJ are my normal pairs that I would trade.
Okay. Yeah, I can see here that you have about you have 51% win ratio. So that's pretty good. So that's just above average. And your relative drawdown, you managed to keep that really low at 2.65. So that's very impressive because you ended up hitting your 7% target. So what kind of risk management were you using when you were trading the evaluation?
So my risk management, I wouldn't try to risk more than 0.25 or 0.5% of the account.
Yeah.
I normally would risk 1%. That's what I'm used to. That's what I practice with. But going into this challenge, definitely kick back the risk and did 0.25 to 0.5%.
Fantastic. So the challenge forced you to reduce your risk, which ended up giving you a lot more return.
Right. Yeah. It made it also helped with the psychology a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah.
people, they tend to risk more, and they tend to worry about, hitting the drawdown limits faster.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's why we built the program, the classic evaluation this way, especially having the relative drawdown. So it forces traders like you who have an edge to be consistent with risk management and, in fact, reduce your risk a little bit because it's not about trying to make money quickly, right? It's not about trying to get rich quickly. We want traders who can be consistent over a longer period of time. And that's why we have our the active trading days, and you've managed to hit all of this criteria. You've kept your relative drawdown down. You hit the actual profit target, and you managed to hit your active trading days. So all of this obviously contribute to your success. So just looking at your balance curve here, you hit a bit of I guess a stale sort of break-even period for your first 60 odd trades. What was going through your mind during this time? How did you
Um,
overcome this period?
yeah, so that was a period of where I was entering the market. I was in the phase of forcing trades there, and so I was kind of in and out of trades, and I just wasn't seeing the setups that I wanted, and that's maybe around the time that I switched to other pairs. And so the way I overcome it is I just kind of relaxed a little bit. I took a step back, um, and then I viewed some other pairs, and I saw my setups, and I took them.
Nice, nice, fantastic. And you kept on with the same risk throughout this period, or did you reduce the risk?
So I kept around the same risk as I went along. I didn't really increase the risk. I kind of kept it the same, kind of balance out everything.
Okay. I see you had some really strong winners. Do you remember which trades these were?
If I'm not mistaken, the really strong win was on GU.
Right.
I think that was one of my biggest wins. It was a short position. I had a really good trade there.
Fantastic. Yeah, very, very impressive statistics. Very impressive. The fact that you were in a bit of a rough period in the beginning. Most traders would have blown up at this point, but you managed to come on top. So well done to you, because it's definitely not an easy thing to do to get out of that type of rut. If you were to go back right at the start of the evaluation and you can give yourself some advice, what advice would you give yourself?
If I could go back, I would definitely say to try to anyway. It might not happen, but try to start the evaluation in a positive note. In this sense, like try to do your best to make sure that everything is in line with your strategy, all your confluences, everything, and then take the trade. Because you want to start out on a positive note. Because as soon as you start out on a negative note, your psychology starts messing up. And like you said, I was in a rut. Um, I had to come back from that. And so I think going back, I wouldn't force a trade right away. I would kind of just relax, calm down, make sure everything is in your realm of your trade.
Fantastic. So that's probably the same advice you would give yourself now as a portfolio manager.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so you should get those logins in the next 24 hours. So yeah, you can go ahead and start trading that, but just remember that advice because you're going to need it. And it's all about just waiting for the trade that ticks all the boxes. That's literally your job. Follow that process. because you clearly have an edge. You clearly have a good strategy. Now you just have to be consistent in applying that. So, Curtis, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for your time and for the wisdom that you shared. And I wish you the best of luck in your trading and your career as a portfolio manager for City Traders Imperium. And yeah, hopefully in the next few weeks, next few months, we'll have another chat when you smash the next target, the next portfolio manager stage.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Good, good. All right. Well, thanks for your time. Take care, Curtis.
Hey, man, you too. Thank you.
There you have it, guys. That was Curtis from the United States Air Force. Watch out for him because I'm sure he's going to do really, really well as a trader. He is already in a job that requires a lot of discipline, right? And as a trader, I'm sure that if he's consistent with his process, he's consistent with his strategy, he will do really well. So if you guys are interested in one of the CTI evaluations, go ahead and use the link in the description below to find out more information about our classic, our standard, and our new day trading program, which I've linked here with more. If you want more information, just go ahead and check out this video. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next interview. Take care, everyone.